Hello everyone, this is lecture 3 of unit 1. In this lecture I will discuss about the equivalent drive parameter of the motor and loads. In the last lecture I discussed about dynamics of electrical drives. I discussed about the electric motor which is driving load. So motor is developing a torque T and it is rotating at a speed of omega m. The load will have counter torque, that is TL. The equivalent system, this equivalent system was having one combined moment of inertia J. So the dynamic equation, we found that it was T minus TL is equal to J d omega m over dt. So at steady state I told that there will be no acceleration or deceleration, so motor torque will be equal to the load torque in that condition. So in this equation you can see there are 5 components. One is motor torque, another is load torque TL. Then we are having moment of inertia of the load and motor combined. Then we are having d omega m over dt. So rate of change of speed. So in this you can say that there are 5 components. One is motor torque, another is equivalent load torque, then moment of inertia, then speed, then time. So based on this equation we can have 5 different types of problems. Like in some problem the load torque is given, equivalent moment of inertia is given, rate of change of speed is given, then you can find the motor torque. Okay. Similarly, if motor torque is given, load torque is given, moment of inertia is given, then in what time the speed will change from this to this. For example, speed, what time the speed will change from 100 rpm to 200 rpm. So in that case you have to substitute all the parameters, then you can find the time. So this is very important equation of motor load system. Okay. So now I'll discuss, in this lecture I'll discuss about how to find equivalent motor load system. First you have to find what is the equivalent motor load system, then you have to drive this equation, then you can calculate different parameters, okay, different quantity, whatever asked in the problem. So seldom is motor in electrical drives you will find the motor normally not directly coupled with the load. So it is because the motor speed is very high, so that motor weight and volume is small, the cost of the motor will be less. So now most of the time you will find the motor speed is very large, but load they are running at a very small speed. Okay. So in general the different loads connected to the motor will have different speed requirements. Speed changing mechanism such as gears, V belts will be used to obtain different speeds. Since the ultimate objective is to select a motor suitable for the application, it is desirable to refer all the mechanical quantities such as load torque, inertia torque to one single axis of rotation. So we are, as a convention, we are selecting motor shaft as a reference shaft. So all those speeds we have to refer to the motor shaft. Okay. So as you can see here, so this is the problem where we are having rotational load only. So one load is directly coupled with the motor, while other load 2, it is connected to the motor through some kind of gear. So gear is having n number of teeth on the motor side, whereas n1 number of teeth on the load side. So this load actually it is running at a lower speed than this load. Okay. So our objective in some problem you will find that there are lot of loads which are running at different speeds. So our objective will be to convert that system into one equivalent load and motor system. Okay, like this. So we have to first convert this whole system into one motor load system which is rotating at speed omega m, that is the motor speed, and it is having one equivalent moment of inertia. So our objective will be to find this equivalent moment of inertia J and this equivalent load torque, so that we can find what will be the rating of the motor and what will be the power requirement of the motor. So for this purpose we have to use the principle of energy conservation. Okay. So for equivalent inertia we have to see the kinetic energy of the system. So first we have to calculate the equivalent moment of inertia. We can calculate this from the energy conservation. So energy of this system will be equal to the energy of this system. Okay. So energy of this system will be half j omega m square. Okay. So equivalent moment of inertia is j. It is rotating with speed omega m. So energy associated with this system will be half j omega m square. Okay. Now this energy will be equal to the energy of this system. Okay. So energy of this system will be, so this load directly coupled to the motor, it is having J naught as moment of inertia. So this load and this motor combinedly, they are having moment of inertia as J naught. So energy associated with this block will be half J naught omega m square. It is rotating at omega m. It is having moment of inertia of J naught. So the kinetic energy associated with this block will be half J naught omega m square. Okay. Now energy, what will be the energy of this block? It is having moment of inertia J1. It is rotating at speed omega m1. Okay. So half J1 omega m1 square. That will be the kinetic energy associated with this load. Okay. So these two energy will be equal. So energy of this will be this one. Energy of this system will be on the right hand side. Okay. Now omega m half, we have to cancel it from both the sides. So j omega m square, we have to divide both the sides. So here we are left on left hand side we are getting j, on the right hand side we are getting j naught plus j1 omega m1 upon omega m square. Okay. Now j is equal to j naught plus j1. This actually called as gear ratio. The speed of the load and speed of the motor, the ratio of that will be called gear ratio. Okay. That is a1 square. Gear ratio also defined as from the number of teeth. If this side is having number of teeth n, this side n1, so n upon n1 will be the gear ratio. Okay. So gear ratio will say, you can say that it is inversely proportional to the gear ratio. Speed is inversely proportional. Okay. If number of teeth are more, then speed will be low. If number of teeth are less, then speed will be very high, will be more. Okay. So this gear ratio is defined as speed on the load side divided by speed on the motor side, or the number of teeth on the motor side divided by the number of teeth on the load side. Okay. So we got one equivalent moment of inertia as j is equal to j naught plus j1 a1 square. So you can see from this equation that whatever load that is directly coupled to the motor, we have to directly add this. Then other loads which are having some gear ratios, we have to multiply it by that square. Okay. a1 square times j1 to reflect it to the motor side. Okay. So in general, if there are m number of loads which is having one load to be directly coupled with the motor, so that inertia is directly added. Then other loads which are having gear ratios as a1 a2 like that, they are added like this. Okay. So this is for rotational load. We are not having any translational load here. Now, so for that we have calculated the equivalent moment of inertia. Now next task is to calculate the equivalent load torque. Okay. So for equivalent load torque, in this we already calculated J in the previous slide. Then what will be the this TL, that is equivalent load torque. For that actually we have to calculate what is the power seen by the motor. Okay. So power of this will be TL into omega m. Okay. So power seen by the motor will be TL into omega m in this system. So this power will be equal to the power of the original system. So in power of the original system will be, this was developing torque TL naught and it is running at speed omega m because it is directly coupled to the motor. So TL naught into omega m plus what will be the power of this system? It is developing load torque TL1 and it is running at speed omega m. So power will be speed into torque. Then this gear ratio will have some efficiency. So power seen by the motor will be more than actual power developed by this load. Okay, so we have to divide by efficiency. So power seen by the motor will be equal to TL into omega m will be equal to TL naught omega m plus TL1 omega m1 upon eta 1. Okay, so if we divide by omega m both the side, on the left hand side we are having TL is equal to TL naught plus TL1 upon eta 1. Now omega m1 upon omega m, again we are saying it is the gear ratio. Okay, load side speed divided by motor side speed will be the gear ratio, or this side T, n upon n1 will be the gear ratio. Okay, so in general, if there are n loads, we can obtain the equivalent load torque to be the load that is directly coupled to the load torque that is directly coupled to the motor plus the load torque that is coupled through some gear with gear ratio A1 and efficiency eta 1. So TL1 A1 upon eta 1. Then if second load is having N2 number A2 number of gear ratio and efficiency eta 2, then we are having TL2 A2 upon eta 2, like that. Okay, if there are large number of load that are connected, then we can find like this. So for calculating equivalent moment of inertia, we equated the kinetic energy, and for calculating the equivalent load torque, we had equated the power seen by the motor. Okay, now come to the translational load. Okay, so we are in this in many machines, for example in hoist as seen in this figure, cranes and shaping machines, some of the moving parts rotate while others go through a translational motion. Okay, so for example this weight V, it is moving up or down with velocity V. So motor is always rotating, but so we are having some kind of pulley here to transform the rotational motion into linear motion. Okay, so again we are following the same principle. If we want to compute what will be the equivalent system, that is system with one motor and one equivalent load torque, and they both are rotating at speed omega m having equivalent moment of inertia as j. So again we are equating the kinetic energy. So in this system, what will be the kinetic energy? Half j omega m square. So this system will have kinetic energy half j omega m square. Then what will be the kinetic energy of this system? Then half this load 1 is having moment of inertia j naught. So this motor load having moment of inertia j naught. So we are having half j naught omega m square plus what will be the kinetic energy associated with mass m1, which is moving with velocity v1. So half m square, simple. So half m1 v1 square. Okay, now half will be cancelled out from both the side. Divide both the side with omega m square. So we are getting j is equal to j naught plus m1 v1 upon omega m square. Okay, so this will be the equivalent moment of inertia of this system transformed into this system. Okay, now to calculate the equivalent load torque seen by the motor, we have to compute the power seen by the motor. So for this purpose, this system will have power as TL into omega m. Okay, now if we compute power of this system, then TL naught into omega m, this load L naught, it is rotating at speed omega m, so TL naught into omega m plus what will the power of this mass? If there is force F on mass m, then power will be F into m. Then this translational system, rotational to linear motion transmission system, it will have some kind of efficiency. We have to divide by that efficiency because motor will see more power. So F1 into V1 upon eta 1. Now again divide by omega m both the side. We are getting TL is equal to TL naught plus F1 upon eta 1 V1 upon omega m. Okay, so in this we had transformed the translational load system into one rotational load torque system. Okay, now if we solve one problem, so in this problem actually a motor drive has two loads. One has rotational motion and another has translational motion. So two loads are the system like this. Okay, one is rotating, another is having translational motion. Okay, one has rotational motion, another has translational motion. The rotational motion load is coupled with the motor through a reduction gear. So it is not directly coupled. It is connected to the motor through some gear, which is having gear ratio as 0.1. Okay, and efficiency of 90%. The load has moment of inertia of 10 kilogram meter square and torque of 10 Newton meter. The translational load consists of 1000 kilogram weight and is lifted up at an uniform speed of 1.5 meter per second. Now coupling between this load and the motor has an efficiency of 85%, that is for translation motion. Motor has inertia of 0.2 kilogram meter square and runs at a constant speed of 1420 rpm. We have to determine inertia refer to the motor shaft, that is one equivalent inertia we have to compute, and power developed by the motor. So we can use this equation, J is equal to J naught plus A1 square J1 plus M1 V1 upon omega M square. Okay, this is the load which is having rotational motion. This is directly coupled load, so there is no directly coupled load. We can take J naught as moment of inertia of the motor only. Okay, because there is no directly coupled load. So this moment J naught is nothing but the moment of inertia of the motor. Then J1, it is the moment of inertia of the load that is under rotational motion, which gear ratio as A1. So first we have to compute these things. So speed is given, motor speed is 1420 rpm. So here omega m is actually in radian per second. So first task is to convert that speed into radian per second. So we can convert like this: omega is equal to 2 pi n radian per second. Okay, if we multiply like this, so 2 pi into n is actually in rotation per second. Okay, so that is 1420 upon 60. So we have to multiply by 2 pi and divide by 60. If we multiply rpm with 2 pi and it divide by 60, we will get in radian per second. So it is 148.7 radian per second. Okay, now substitute all the quantities given in the problem. So J will be J naught. So this is moment of inertia of the motor, plus this is the gear ratio of the first load which is under rotational motion, and it is having 10 kilogram meter square as moment of inertia. Okay, then mass is given 1000 kilogram of the load that is under translational motion. Okay, then V1 speed is given 1.5 meter per second. You can see here 1.5 meter per second. Then omega m we have computed as 148.7 radian per second square that. So we are getting 0.4 kilogram meter square as equivalent moment of inertia of the whole system. Okay. Now if you want to compute the determining equivalent inertia referred to the motor and power developed by the motor. So we have to first compute the equivalent load torque, then multiply by speed will give the power developed by the motor. Okay. So again, power seen by the motor. So we can compute from this. If you see the equation, you can see the equation, directly coupled load. There is no directly coupled load, so we have to take this 0. Then TL1 A1 upon eta 1 from rotational load. Similarly for translational load, that will be F1 V1 upon eta into speed. Okay, so we have to add these two components. So here we are having, this is the torque developed by the rotational load. Gear ratio is 0.2. Okay, and conversion efficiency is 90%. So you have to take conversion efficiency. Here it is 0.1. Okay, so make it 0.1, make it here 0.1. Now what will be the load, what will be the F, what will be the force? F into V upon beta 1 into omega m. Okay, so F will be mg, mass is 1000 kilogram, so 1000 into 9.81 divided by 0.85. Speed is 1.5 meter per second, omega m is 148.7. So compute this by making this 0.1. Okay, now once you have load torque multiplied by omega m will give the power developed by the motor. Okay, in this problem here substitute 0.1 instead of 0.2. You have to substitute 0.1 here. I'll make 0.1, just wait. So this will be 0.1. Okay, so this is 0.1 into 10 upon 0.9. So this will be some other quantity, just calculate it. So by that actually you can find what will be the equivalent load torque. Once equivalent load torque is known, you can multiply with speed omega m to compute the power developed by the motor. Okay, so there are a lot of problems given in the GK Dubey book. You can see the solved examples. So there is one assignment on this. You can solve. You can see the GK Dubey book problem 2.2, 2.3, 2.5, 2.6 and 2.12. These are very small problems. You can solve it and make a soft copy and upload on the Google Classroom. Okay, so I am giving for this assignment up to May 31st. You can submit this in soft form. Okay, so if you go to the book that I shared with you, that is GK Dubey book, you can see there are a lot of problems given in this. So these are very basic problems. So actually you can solve all these problems because these are very important problems and you may find in the exams as well. Okay, so I suggest you to go through the solved examples and then solve the unsolved problems. Okay, and some problem I given as assignment, you have to solve it and submit it to me. Okay, so this is the lecture 3. In next class I will discuss about the stability of the drive system. Okay, thank you.